Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Guys! Fellas, you think we could listen to the radio or something?
Radio? Who needs a radio?
What's going on, everyone? Donovan here. Welcome back to the show. I'm excited about this, guys. I've been waiting on this to share this with you for a while, and really, I have to do it now because the research behind this is so extensive. I can't explain it to you. You're going to have to look for it yourself. But today, I want to talk about Detroit radio, and I have it broken down in three parts, with this part being the first part. Okay, so where do I start? I have to start to tell you that I think a lot of us were influenced by Detroit radio, black radio growing up. I think you know what I mean by the culture, by the trends of things, what Detroit radio, black radio was, especially for me growing up. It influenced me. And growing up, it helped me to get through things. And I'll explain more of that in the second part. But the first part, I want to talk about who are the culprits in introducing me to black radio, to Detroit radio. Definitely my mother. I remember just when she wake up in the morning, get ready for work, taking over the bathroom as usual, that she would listen to Detroit radio. Now, back at that time, we're talking 70s, late 70s. From what I recall, 77 into about 79. And I remember my mother getting up for work daily, hogging the bathroom, and just listening to WCHB 1440 AM. And I remember that because we used to listen to two radio stations. One was 1440 WCHB AM, and another was 1400 WJLB AM. And I don't know who it was, what DJ, what one of those stations, but a certain DJ used to play Wake Up Everybody by Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes every morning. And that, if you've heard that song, it's an incredible message song, just kind of telling the community to wake up, all the dangers around you, all the things that you want to do in your life, something that's inspiring to help you to wake up. And if you don't know who that group is, think Teddy Pendergrass, because that's the group he came from. So that came on every morning, plus seeing my stepdad and my mother interact to certain songs. I remember just even Christmas time, first time, getting in the car after you open up your presents and going to see your relatives, on the way to songs like That's What Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder, just different Temptation songs, Smokey Robinson and Miracle songs, Motown, all types of music you would hear. But it would be quote unquote soul radio, Detroit radio, black radio. And so that's what I remember growing up listening to, and that's what influenced me. And of course, about the time I really got a wind of Detroit radio, it was disco. It was Donna Summer, Bee Gees. So that was dominating the airwaves, was disco. But in that, there were those two radio stations that pretty much shaped what I heard, was WCHB 1440 AM and WJLB 1400 AM. Now looking back, I had no idea of what those songs would mean to me, of what I was singing actually. I remember there's one song, if I remember it right, it's called In the Bush. And I used to sing that song. I remember hearing that song and singing it, push, push in the bush. you know. And looking back at it, I didn't know what those lyrics mean, and looking up YouTube and other stuff, and looking up just what music was at that time. Various innuendos, various hidden meanings and stuff. And as a child, you're singing this, and unless someone corrects you, you don't know what you're singing. So looking back, I'm like, okay, yeah, I am definitely singing about some stuff I didn't know. I think another thing is that so many songs were simple at the time. It was a couple of verses and the chorus, and it pretty much repeated after that. I think about getting in the car and yeah, turn on the radio, but you also had the 8-track. Um, you had the 8-track player / radio system in your ride. Getting into the car, seeing that big bulky tape, and you putting in your player to hear some music. And also looking back, a lot of artists, a lot of groups back then, like I mentioned, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I didn't really know who that was, but I heard Teddy Pendergrass' voice. So, of course, in the years to come, you would hear Teddy Pendergrass. There were so many different groups that came out with so many music, Commodores, but you heard their front people come out later on with their solo careers. But guys, this is just an intro. So I just wanted to share those 2 radio stations I grew up with, listening to AM Detroit radio, and I'm curious to see what was the radio stations you grew up with. What kind of shaped your music interests when you were growing up, that your parents listened to, that you kind of got a feel for, kind of learned to appreciate growing up. So in the second part, we're going to talk more about my generation and the music that really hit me growing up, that really shaped me, DJs that definitely influenced me growing up. So guys, that's it for my video today. I hope you appreciate it. And let me know in the comments what you listened to growing up, what shaped you when you were younger, and how it affects you now. Well guys, that's my video for today. Donovan out. Peace.